Welcome to a new video. Today I want to talk about EF Santa Barbara. Sorry to my subscribers, this is a kind of different video, but I want to share my opinions about EF Santa Barbara and I don't know where else I should put it. So sorry about that. To my subscriber, regular content will soon come. EF Santa Barbara, as I already said, I want to share my experiences. I want to help you when you decide, okay, I want to go there or not, if you should go there or not, and is it worth it, the money? It's really my personal experiences. First of all, when you go to a language school, just keep in mind there are a lot of spoiled people there. So yeah, just something I wanted to say and keep that in mind. First of all, before my trip, so this is not or was not my first language stay. I did a language stay with a different travel agency to Brighton 4 years before I did this language stay. So yeah, I booked with EF Switzerland and I wanted to go as fast as possible because I suddenly had the idea, come on, why not do a language stay? I wanted to go somewhere far because my parents, they prefer not to fly very far. So I thought, okay, why not go to the US? They recommended me this place. They recommended me going to Santa Barbara. I was 20 years at that time. In general, I can say, yeah, this is a good recommendation. If you're below 21, going to Santa Barbara. I think this is something they did well. I went there from the 8th of May 2016 until the 9th of July 2016. So basically 2 months I was in the US with EF. Like, for example, I asked them, are there a lot of Swiss people at EF? And EF Switzerland told me no. And then I was like, oh, good, okay. Because I didn't want to go to a place where there are just people talking German around me. Yeah, I wanted to avoid that. I paid $8,000 and I was in a home share. I was not with the host family or at their residence, which is open during summer. I also had to take a test and I was at the C1 level they put me, so yeah, I was pretty happy about that, so good to go there. So on arrival I was flying out from Zurich to London first and then from London to LAX. I don't recommend flying into Santa Barbara, to be honest. Take a flight to LAX and then take a bus, Uber, or a rental car to Santa Barbara. That's my recommendation. On arrival, I was, of course, after like my travel time was, I don't know, maybe 15, 16 hours. So I was completely dead. And yeah, my bed and nothing was basically ready for me. Like my host dad, he was 63 years old, was basically more or less not surprised, but for him was like, another one, okay, I don't care too much. So yeah, he had to wash my blanket and everything, my pillow, all the things I need for my bed. He had to wash this first and I was like crazy tired. So that was pretty annoying and was pretty bad, to be honest. This was probably, first of all, pretty big downside when I was there. So yeah, pretty annoying. About my host dad, like he had his moods, let's say it this way. Sometimes he was really, really well doing and sometimes he was really upset or angry. So that was pretty, yeah, at some point it annoyed you because you were here to have like a good time to learn English, and then yeah, what should I say? I mean, to be honest, I didn't care too much, but it was just annoying to know, okay, now he's like that and now he's just angry again. Yeah, he was also sometimes drunk and smoked weed. To be honest, I didn't care that much about those things. What was more annoying to me was more that he was so angry. For example, I wanted to clean my room with my roommate and I asked him, yeah, can we have the vacuum cleaner? And he said, no, you can't have it. Like, okay. That was really, yeah, just made me upset. And yeah, there was no reason for him to do that. The home share was pretty close to the school, so that was awesome. I had to walk like 10 minutes and I was at the school. This was really amazing. Location was, yeah, perfect for that, to be honest. I couldn't wish any better home share. 3 blocks away there was like a 7-Eleven, and yeah, we were not downtown, but we were pretty close to downtown Santa Barbara, so that was awesome. But the apartment was very dirty. That's why I wanted to clean it at some point with my roommate. And yeah, we couldn't lock our door upstairs. That was pretty bad as well. Like if somebody knew that there was open all the time, somebody could have just walked in, stealed all my stuff, my passport, my computer, my whatever I had there. So that was at the beginning it was a bit frightening, let's say it this way. But after like a week or two, I didn't care about that because it was pretty safe there. Nobody was ever coming close to our house. So yeah, that was something you have to take into consideration, that the amenities you have from home are probably not the same you will have there, or are sometimes much less, especially when it comes to the overall state and cleanness of the house. But I heard that some houses, especially from host families, are sometimes more than 1 hour by bus, sometimes a 20 minutes walk. So I had a friend, she had to walk 20 minutes first and then take the bus. So she had over an hour, and they said specifically, you don't need to go for more than 1 hour. So keep that in mind. And if you have a problem with that, you need to complain. Yes, at the housing office at EF Santa Barbara, you need to complain. Otherwise, nothing will happen. And maybe you're thinking now, okay, I could have complained about my homestead, everything. I could have, but I was 20 years old there. First of all, I didn't want to bother with negativity when I was there. Everything was basically so good, except for these things I'm telling you now. So I thought, okay, fuck it. The school is so close to our home is so close to the school. I had such great roommates. Really, some of them I'm still in contact today, like 3.5 years later, or not 3.5 years, 3 years later. So I thought, okay, I enjoy my time there and I don't want to complain about everything. The room maybe we can talk about that, was pretty small. It was smaller than my room I have now at my house, which, I mean, that's okay. My room is not too bad at my house, but there were 4 beds in this room. It was crazy. And you could live with two people there. That was no problem. But if there were 3 or more people there, 3 or 4, let's say, it was too full. So in the beginning, I was pretty lucky because 2 or 3 other guys, they were on trips and I had the room for myself. And then, I always had to share a bit with somebody. And then we were like 3 people after that, and then 2 again. So let's say this, if it was full house, it was way too much for me. Next up, EF told me about the food. I will get breakfast and dinner all the time, and at the weekends I think breakfast, lunch and dinner. So that was pretty nice. I thought, okay, cool. Basically I don't need to spend a lot of money for food. The first weekend there was no food. I thought, okay, what the fuck? Then I bought something and it was pretty annoying. And at the end, like at week 6 or 5, I think, there was sometimes for days, like 2-3 days, no food. That was pretty unacceptable. So I thought to myself again, okay, I could complain now. I wanted to, but then I thought, okay, no, come on, I want to enjoy my time. If I spend like $100 more for food or so, who cares in the end, because I've already paid like $8,000 for the whole trip. So I didn't want to bother with that. And but keep that in mind. it was pretty annoying, and also of my friend, she also was treated pretty badly in a host family when she got her food. That was sometimes, you could say, offending what she got for food. Sometimes frozen chicken, sometimes fried avocado, which looked completely strange. Let's say like this. Keep that in mind when you go there. The food, you will probably need to spend some money for food, because either you have no food or bad food. Furthermore, some host families weren't native English speakers. I heard that as well. And then I was like, okay, this is pretty fucked up. Like, you're going there to learn English, and then if you're probably with Swiss people there in that house, you never speak English at home. So that was pretty bad. So I think they were like Mexicans. I don't want to be racist or anything, but I expect when I go there that their mother tongue is English. So keep that in mind. This is not too good. And I also heard from students that they finally changed school. So yeah, this was not so good. Now to the weather, okay? I will talk about the school a little bit more later. So the weather, I was in May there until July. The weather was actually not too good, especially until July. Like, or mid-June I wrote down. Yeah, until mid-June it was always pretty foggy in the morning, and then in the afternoon the weather suddenly changed and the sun was there. So yeah, if you really want the California sunshine, better go like in July, August, September. That's what I would recommend to you. I was pretty surprised. In the morning it was like overcast always, especially when I was first there, and I think I think I never saw like the sunrise, sorry, in May or so. So yeah, keep that in mind. The temperature was good though. It was for me on the cool end. I mean, in the afternoon it was above 20 degrees, yes, but in the morning, especially in May, you had to wear a little jacket. So I was pretty surprised about that, because I thought, okay, I mean, it's California, sunshine state, something like that. Or was it Florida? I'm not sure, but I thought we will have really good weather. Also, when it comes to surfing, I'm not a huge surfer, but the waves, basically, some people try to surf there, but it's not the best place for surfing. Let's keep it real. If you really want to go surfing, probably go to Hawaii. Let's go back to the school. As I think I already told you, I was in the C1 levels, and every level had like 3 different sub-levels. So C11, C12, and C13. So C11 was the worst, C1 and C13 was the best. So I was in C12, and I thought to myself, okay, my English, I mean, okay, I'm a C1, I agree, but the English of the other students in my class was more a B2, something like that. So this was pretty bad. So the level overall was pretty low. Basically, a C1 was more like a B2 in my opinion, but which I find rather disappointing, because, well, I learned something, but to be honest, well, I can say this now, I didn't learn a lot. I really didn't learn a lot there, sadly. It was not hard at all. I did the basic course, I think, something like that. If you really want to learn something, go to the Cambridge exams course, really. Pay a bit more. If you want to learn something, take the Cambridge exam course, and yeah, have a Cambridge exam in the end. First I wanted to do that, but I couldn't because I was too late to book my trip. So that was pretty bad, actually. In the end, I think I wouldn't do it again this way. Now to the timetables. The timetable was actually not too good and got worse. To be honest, I can't really remember when I think, yeah, in the end, my timetable got a little bit worse. You need to have an attendance of 80%. So yeah, you can skip some classes. To be honest, I can't remember why I wrote down that my timetable got worse. But yeah, to be honest, in my mind now, I thought it was not too bad. It was a bit annoying with the breaks and stuff over lunchtime, but I had 3 different classes: the spin class, the iPad class, and the normal class. The spin classes are like the special interest classes. Those were actually pretty boring. Those were really easy. To be honest, I also started skipping those a bit because those were really boring. Those special interest classes. The level was even lower than in the normal classes. So basically, spin classes was nothing for me. Then the iPad class was good. We had iPads, we had to research some things. That was actually not too bad. It was okay, let's say it this way. And the normal class, the level was okay. Yeah, we had some homework, which for me basically was pretty easy. Like, I would have wished that the level in general was a bit higher. So also, most of the other students spoke worse than I did and were sometimes C2. That's what I think more or less told a bit already. Yeah, the levels were not accurate. I could have gone in a C2 with no problem, but the thing is, like, they really wanted to have like 2 C1 classes or 1 C1 class, or like, no, sorry, 1 C1 class and 1 C1-2 class, and they always had to see, where is some space left, where can we put this student? So that was really annoying. And the next thing was, the school was freezing cold sometimes. I know the Americans love their AC, but come on, it's a school and you can turn down the AC. I couldn't understand it. Like, I had to wear a jacket inside the school. That was pretty bad. And this was in summer and winter. It was cold, I heard. Then the classes, they said, I think they told me they were up to up to 10 students, I guess, was advertised, but sometimes it was up to 20, so yeah, not so good. Next up, the positive about EF Santa Barbara, or like the thing why I can recommend EF Santa Barbara. First of all, are the trips. Santa Barbara is pretty well located in terms of day trips or weekend trips. Like, you have like 2 hours to LA, you have like 3 or 4 hours to San Diego, you have 6 hours to San Francisco. You can visit a lot of national parks and so on. So that's pretty cool. And the school offers also quite a lot of trips. They offer Vegas. I went with the school to Vegas because I wasn't 21 at that time. And my friends who could drive there, they didn't want to go to Vegas with me. So I went there with the school, which was fine. You could go to the baseball match. I think you could go to basically anywhere, San Francisco, San Diego, yeah, basically everywhere. They advertised that you could meet different students from different EF classes, but when I was in Vegas, I've never seen one other guy. This was hella strange, to be honest. They advertised it, but maybe it was just in San Francisco. I have no idea, but because I've never seen anyone. But was the trip like to Vegas with them? It was pretty good. It was, I mean, okay, I was 20 there. I couldn't do a lot in Vegas, sadly, but yeah, the bus was here. Everything was well organized, and yeah, I can't complain about the trip, to be honest. So next up is, I recommend going to the USA in general, not below the age of 21, and I recommend that you can drive, because believe me, it will change your trip there, trust me. If you can drive like over, I think it was I can't remember, Memorial Day exactly, my friends and me, we went to several national parks, we were driving crazy a lot, like over 2,000 miles in 4 days. It was crazy, really. But we could see so many things, and if you can't drive or don't have a friend who can drive, you're pretty much screwed. So my final recommendation is go to the USA, do a language stay when you're older than 21, or 21 of course, when you can drive. And what else? Again, exactly. I would have preferred to go to San Diego. In the end, I was in San Diego 2 times. I like this city a lot. I can say I've checked out some pictures from the San Diego campus. So from EF, yeah, I would go to San Diego. Furthermore, don't do a language stay, especially with EF. If you want to learn something, or accept your taking the Cambridge exam course. Keep that in mind. So in general, or last words, for me it was a stunning trip. I'm happy I didn't complain about the stuff like the food and everything, host family, because in the end, for me at least, it wouldn't have been worth it. I would have wasted my good vibes, my good mood, just for some silly things like the foods and everything. Really, it was a once in a lifetime trip, I have to admit. It was amazing. If I could, I really want to do it straight away again. It was this awesome, great people, especially at my home share. Nice people as well. My friends, they always took me driving, or they took me along when they went on a trip, even though I couldn't drive. This was awesome, so I was pretty lucky there. Also, now we have the positive things recap. The negative things is really don't rush it. Think about the language stay. What do you expect from this language stay? Do you expect holidays? Do you expect that you learn English there? Because, yes, some people, if you're C1 or higher, some people might speak worse English than you. I mean, it's the rule that more or less most people speak worse English than you because you're a C1. Keep that in mind. Basically, if you want to do holidays, I think Santa Barbara is great. If you want to learn something, go for the Cambridge course, or go with a different travel agency. That's what I can tell you. Of course, with the host families or home shares, you can be lucky, you can't be. Just keep that in mind. Some home shares or host families can be pretty nasty, can be pretty bad. Keep that in mind. Read reviews about that. Watch other videos from other YouTubers who tell you about their opinions. I hope you liked this pretty long video, and I could help you a bit with or helping you choose where you go with EF to Santa Barbara or somewhere else, or not with EF. Thank you and goodbye.